this. God, that was easy. It can literally rip a train in half and try to suplex the wreckage on you, but its electro buzzsaws and death ray barely cause minor redness and irritation on a 120-pound woman wearing no armor. And despite its massive size, strength, mobility, and ultra-modern steel armor, it's taken out in a matter of seconds with a pair of .45 caliber pistols. Fucking RoboCop at least had an anti-tank rifle. He didn't try to go after it with that gun of his, and that thing was a fucking hand cannon.
Shit. Man. Chocobo, we just can't catch a break, can we?
And so begins the hallway. The endless 40-hour hallway. You have not known pain until you have seen the hallway, for there is no escape. No free will, the only way is the way forward. The dread of inevitability, the shackles of fate, our choices preordained by programmers, our existence meaningless without choices of our own. The only way is forward, the path laid out for us, the choices already made. The monsters you encounter are invariant. They are planned to the last detail. There is no randomness or chance. You fight them because you are meant to. You fight them so that you are at the level the game requires you to fight the bosses. No more, no less. Oh, you may find that the hallway branches off at times and you think you've escaped. But these paths only lead perhaps 50 yards to a dead end and some minor treasure. And with no way to continue, you must go back and return to the hallway. Sometimes you may enter a wider room, some larger area. But there is still only one way in and one way out, and the hallway continues. Here we find a save point where we save our game and do our shopping. This is because the save points are also the item stores, and the weapon stores, and the armor stores, and the accessory stores, and the crafting shit stores. Once again, it's this strange meta concept that makes your brain itch. It makes no sense. It's kind of wrong. What then is a save point? What purpose does this floating machine serve to people who live in this game world? When someone in Cocoon sees a save point, what do they say it is? And this isn't just some abstract ball of light that you walk into that doesn't actually exist in the game world. This thing must exist. People in the game world must recognize it as something because it allows someone to purchase anything they want in the entire world and have it delivered instantly to them. So how are these things delivered? Is it like a replicator from Star Trek? How do you pay for things? Is it like a credit card, or do you put cash in a slot on the machine? Can these financial transactions be traced in any way by the government? I ask because it might one day be necessary for them to find some wanted fugitives, which would be really easy in a world that only handles electronic currency. Or do people still seriously carry around huge sacks of gil coins with them? Another question, why would there be a machine that links to an online store that instantly delivers automatic weapons and swords to people? Is it common for your average civilian to buy swords in Cocoon? I would think the first store you'd see would be for groceries, or diabetes supplies, or sex toys. What if a child stole some cash and bought guns on the save point machine? And what's a store just doing here in the middle of some road or walkway or wherever the fuck we are? Wouldn't it block traffic? Why would you put a store here? It'd be like putting a hot dog cart in the fast lane of a freeway. Oh, I can explain why they put all the item stores into the save points. It's because coding actual physical item stores into the game would also mean creating towns and cities to put them in. And having towns would mean you'd have this big open area you're free to move in, and freedom of movement implies you'd have this place to explore and do subquests in and have fun and leave the hallway, and we can't very well fucking have that now, can we? And why is there this weird robo-sphere of treasure thingy just doing here too? I mean, there's technological, and then there's just a waste of fucking resources. Who put this thing here, and why? Wouldn't it just be cheaper to use a cardboard box instead of this floating metal robotic thing? And why does it have a potion inside it? If this is such an advanced technological society, aren't potions a little old-fashioned? Potions seem to imply alchemy or magic, when clearly technology and science are the dominant forces here. Once again, this game decides to include something that directly contradicts the game's futuristic atmosphere. A potion inside a robosphere. I just don't get it. Wouldn't it be more logical to buy a first aid kit here, or a stim pack, or bandages? Hell, even healing jelly makes more sense, because at least that's something manufactured that you might see commercially available in this world. Well, look, now clearly boxes exist, so what lame crap is in those? They must be worth less than a single potion, because apparently they don't warrant the floating treasure spheres.
Ah, for the love of all that's good!
Here's another thing that just kind of takes you out of the game. If Saz is so scared, why does he bother with the goofy gun kata poses that assuredly would cause him to be much less accurate? Why does this lever move along a Z shape? Is that necessary? Would it not work if it wasn't in a Z shape? And I have to ask once again, why would anyone here ever not carry a gun? Why is this always an issue whenever Final Fantasy is set in a world where guns exist? I get that if everyone used a gun, it limits weapon variety, but it still doesn't make sense to do otherwise. Now, for those of you who don't know what guns allow you to kill someone from very, very far away. And in some cases, like, say, this aerial sniper, from really far away. And these guys do it while flying in the air at the same time, which is way better than modern snipers who even today can punch a hole in a dime from a kilometer away. And the reason they do it from that distance is precisely so people don't run up and stab them in the face with a sword. Ah, she's stabbing me in the face with a sword! My jetpack is useless! Dude, just fly away and shoot them. Fly away! Your guns are bigger and more accurate, and by the way, you can fucking fly! Don't you think you'd have to study for years in the military to be promoted to the special jetpack sniper squad? Do you really think they'd give jetpacks and sniper rifles to morons who just fly around in circles playing grab ass? Yeah, we're totally spinning donuts in our jetpacks, dude!
What's your angle?
My angle? I'm after the Foul Sea.
Just what you were looking for. The post-Foul Sea.
Oh, right, yeah, of course. What's a post-Foul Sea? Yeah, whatever, it's not important to explain the objective of our mission. Let's go over to another group of rebels fighting it out in the streets. The rebels are also allied with the Maquis, which would make the soldiers we're fighting the Federation? This is Snow.
What can you possibly do?
Snow is an idiot.
Since when have heroes ever needed plans?
Who punches things?
But I gotta do something, right?
These people need heroes. What's our motto?
I don't know, what's the matter with you?
What's our motto?
The army's no match for Nora.
Attaboy.
Oh, wow. That is seriously, like, the most boring, unmemorable motto I've ever heard in my life. I've already forgotten what it was. It's not exactly the sort of thing you'd put on a bumper sticker, is it? It's no Wolverines. Shit, it's not even Calvin peeing on a logo window decal.
Yo, boss. What's the plan?
Charge in, guns blazing.
That's a great plan. Charge in, guns blazing. Could work, if Snow ever carried a fucking gun!
Real heroes don't need plans.
Wow, that's incredibly debatable. And almost always untrue. This is so fucking hilarious. Snow charges the killer robot dogs with foot-long razor blades for claws, and then the army soldiers carrying assault rifles, and he does this bare-handed.
You see that?
And he wins. Who does this guy think he is, Zell? Look, if it didn't work out for Bruce Lee, you're not gonna sell me on it happening here. Because, I mean, look, Snow and his guys are defending a bunch of refugees against this 15-foot-tall, 30-foot-long armored robotic behemoth. So naturally, the most logical course of action is to attack it with no weapons whatsoever. Okay, he's not fucking Beowulf here, you know? This is so fucking silly, it's impossible to take seriously, even in a world of robots, flying cities, and magic. There's suspension of disbelief, and there's get the fuck out. The man would turn his fists into red rubber lumps of crushed meat and bone before he'd scratch the fucking paint on this robot. But no, not only does Snow cause more damage to it with his hands than automatic weapons would, he punches the fucker so hard he completely obliterates it. Look, I'm not lying! The fucking thing is gone! This thing must weigh like 6 tons, and he fucking annihilated it with an uppercut.
Total protonic reversal.
Right, that's bad.
Okay, look, I know in older Final Fantasy games you had guys like Sabin who had, like, hardcore martial arts. Dude suplexed a fucking train, for Christ's sakes. Fucking look at this! That is awesome! But here's the difference, and this is highly complex, so try to follow my reasoning here. Snow couldn't hold Sabin's jock. Sabin is some kind of magic monk dude with his mystic chi powers. At the very least, he had some form of martial arts training, agreed? And even he equipped weapons, whereas Snow is just some guy. He's just a dude with a trench coat. He doesn't know any martial arts. There's nothing exceptional about him physically or mentally.
Hang on, baby! Your hero's on the way!
Clearly not mentally. Now, look at this again from the perspective of one of the soldiers in the game world. If a guy can just walk up and casually punch a military war mech into a